Oh, that's new. It like tells you. Well, hello, Siri-like voice. That creeped me out for a second. I was like, who is that? Good morning. Happy Sunday. So I just wanted to give a brief reason as to for this Zoom, a purpose for this Zoom. This Zoom is for you to find a way to serve your audience that grows your network organically, that helps you bring more people into your network, because let's be honest, that we have to grow our networks. We're a network marketing. So this is really around niche, whatever you want to call it, branding, and how you can populate content around your niche, as well as introducing Thrive into that too. So I'm going to briefly go over what is your niche, just to like reintroduce that, and then give you some ways that you can find information about what people are looking up regarding your niche, and then how you can use each of those those questions that are being asked to create content. Blah, blah, blah. Words are hard today. So, and then I'm going to give you some ways that you can introduce Thrive as well. I actually had a conversation with one of my promoters yesterday, and we really narrowed down like how she could figure out how to serve her audience. Because I think she was like, I just feel like I have all these topics I want to talk about and these things that I'm passionate about. And it is, yes, we are multifaceted people. We have multiple passions. We have things that we love. I love God. I love my family. I love working out. I love Thrive. I love all sorts of things. But finding one specific thing that you can help people with is really going to expand your network. It's going to allow you to figure out what are things I can post every single day and get outside of that. You feel like you're just a spam bot that throws up Thrive all the time, because the reality is at one point in time, that sort of marketing, quote unquote, worked, but I feel like that is the old, outdated version, and people are sick of it. And we want to find ways that we can serve people and that will bring people in and have them interested in what you have to offer and trusting you because you're helping them with a specific area in their life. And it'll bring in the right people into your network. So what is a niche? A niche is who's the group of people that you're trying to help and what's the problem you're trying to solve. So who is the specific type of group of people that you're trying to help? Is it moms? Is it other women? Is it, if you're a dude, is it dads? Is it single moms? Is it married newlyweds? Is it one specific group that you can serve? And then what is the problem that you're trying to solve for them? So this can be, for instance, when I was helping my promoter yesterday, hers is she wants to help other women develop a healthy relationship with food. Now, what can you do in that? You can provide recipes, you can give information about food, you can talk about nutrition, you can do like lives with cooking, like all sorts of things. Maybe your problem you want to help solve is helping other people overcome addiction, helping other people that are single moms feel like they're gaining control of their life, or that they're showing up purposefully for themselves and for their children. Or helping other women gain confidence, helping women overcome abusive relationships. So maybe they came outside of an abusive relationships. This is something specifically that you feel like you could talk on all the time. And that's what helps you continually bring up content so that people come back to your page, they start trusting in what you're saying. And then when you're talking about introducing your products or your business, they trust you because you've already helped them and served them in this other way that has no monetary attachment. So you're giving them books they can read, you're giving them mental advice, you're telling your story and sharing how you overcame things, you're giving them exercises, you're giving them quick ways to help with homeschooling, you're giving them ideas about how they can entertain their children during the summer. This builds confidence. This builds relationship because you're giving without the expectation of receiving something, and they're getting something valuable from you. So that's why they keep coming back. So then when you're talking about, I use this product to give me energy to keep up with my kids. This product gave me confidence to, you know, believe in myself after leaving an abusive relationship. These products help me feel good after years and years of addiction. These products help me stay focused when I'm working a 9-to-5 job, or like whatever that thing is. When you're talking about how that product fits into your niche, they trust you because you've already helped them with all these other things on the outside. So that's why having a niche is so important, because it brings people into a specific area where you can help them out. Gone are the days of, here are all these things that I'm going to talk about, and you look scattered, and maybe you have some people that come back because they enjoy like your humor or whatever. But when you're really narrowing down, I'm telling you, words are hard today. When you're really narrowing down a way that you can help people, it makes creating hashtags so much easier. It makes organically growing your audience so much easier. It makes finding groups so much easier because you're just finding groups that are based on that one thing. And it makes planning your content so much easier, because then you're not sitting there questioning and wondering, like, what am I going to talk about today? Or what am I going to talk about this week? So that's why having a niche is so important. I'm going to give you a really cool way that you can find out, like, what are the people Googling that are within your niche. So if your niche is like, you want to help other people that are overcoming addiction, this is a way that you can find out, like, what are people that are actively trying to overcome an addiction, what are they looking up? So here's a website that I want you to go to. It is answerthepublic.com. I'm going to give you a minute just to hop into that website. Answerthepublic.com, just like it's normally spelled, all together. So it's discover what people are asking about. So this takes search engines and sees what people typically are searching for that relates to that specific topic. So like for me, I can look up multiple things because my niche is helping other busy moms gain control of their health and get their energy back. So I can look up weight loss. I can look up exercise. I can look up diet. I can look up nutrition. I can look up all those things and see like what kind of questions are people asking. So for instance, I'm just going to look up weight loss because that's typically what I talk about. Then you're going to see these few different, they look like little circles. So if you click on download the image, you can pull it up and like zoom in and it shows you like different terms. So like what, why, will, when, can, which, who, where, how. And then it shows you like what kind of questions they're asking with the word what. So like for mine specifically is what weight loss actually looks like. What weight loss is noticeable. What weight loss plan is best for me. What weight loss pills actually work. I'm going to go with none. And then maybe how weight loss changes your face, how weight loss works. So this gives you an idea of how, like, what are the questions that people are wanting to know? Like, ding, 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 there's your way to provide content around those questions because people are asking them. So for me, we're going to spend a couple minutes allowing you to write down like 7 to 10 of these questions that you feel like you could help people with. So save those images. And then if you go back, there's another one that has like different word terms like for, to, near, can, without, is, whatever. And then it even goes into alphabet, like the letter A, like weight loss app, weight loss affirmations, weight loss advice, weight loss at home. So there's so many different ideas you can get that people are asking on a continual basis. So, if people are asking these questions on Google, chances are someone in your audience has Googled the exact same thing. So we're going to spend about, let's see, it's 8:13 right now. We're going to spend about 5-10 minutes looking at these things and writing down about 7 to 10 of those questions. Yes, I know. Answerthepublic.com. So if you go to answerthepublic.com, so you can search like keywords. So like if you're a single mom, you could search single mom. You could search busy kids. You could search kids home for the summer or kids summer and see what comes up. And then you can figure out what are some things that you can help people with around those specific word choices. You're welcome. So this kind of like, this helps with the what's the problem you're trying to solve. If you're trying to solve the problem of like helping other people overcome addiction, what are the questions they're asking around addiction? What are the questions if you're helping, I'll just give some topics. What are people asking around food? What questions are people asking around motherhood? What questions are people asking about weight loss or energy? Or you could even use this to find out terms that people search that relate to like specifically Thrive too. So you could probably search in Thrive, because I think like one of my weight loss terms was like weight loss with Thrive. And I was like, oh, that's sweet. People are actually searching that. So we're going to spend 5 minutes just looking through that. I would have like music as a filler, but then YouTube will like shut me down basically, or shut this recording down. Just grab like, either you can go through those specific questions or you can go down through the alphabet. So awesome. When I saw this, I was like, oh, this is amazing. Weight loss overnight. And then I'll go into after you have like your 7 to 10 things that you kind of want to help with the questions, answering these questions for people. I'll show you how you can create that into content. And then we'll talk a little bit about introducing Thrive into everything too, because if you're not talking about Thrive and you're just talking about your niche, you're missing the whole boat. So it's the two of them married together. Oh, apparently you only get a number of certain free searches per day, but whatever. Yikes. No thanks. Another way, if you like reach your daily limit of searches in that, is you could go incognito and do it that way too. Because it goes off of your IP address. Oh, just kidding. That doesn't work. You could go off of your Wi-Fi, I think. Let me check to see if that works. Okay, that worked. So you could like do Wi-Fi and then you could do your data plan. Oops. So the point of using this search engine is for you to have ideas on how you can serve your audience around your niche. So if your page is about you trying to help other people with XYZ, searching a term that has to relate to that so that you can create content, which I'm going to go into next. So like how you can create content around these questions. I swear everyone in my neighborhood is mowing their lawn right now at the same exact time. You're welcome. I'm going in and out. Shoot. Is it still kind of patchy? No? Okay, thank you. We'll give like one more minute. Like I said, you could also do this to see if people are asking questions about Thrive specifically. I know you only get a certain number of searches per day, but like, let's say tomorrow you could go in and just search like Thrive and see what questions people have about Thrive, if they have it specific. Yikes, 94 degrees. It was 84 in Minnesota yesterday. And it was beautiful. I sat outside in the sun. Okay, so after you have all those things, how can you create content? So the thing I do is I'll take this is how I break down my weeks every single week, because I want to make sure that I'm using multiple tools within the platforms so that I'm maximizing my way to reach other people as much as possible. So how can I take these 7 to 10 questions that people have and answer them in these various forms? So how can I go live and talk about one of these questions that they're having? Like, what does weight loss actually look like? How can I can go live and explain that and then change my live into an IGTV. I can do a reel with when weight loss is slow. I can just do like a quick explaining reel with like music in the background and like words. that populate or whatever. I can do a post about which weight loss plan is best. And that can be like a misconception too thing. You can create carousels, which carousels are like I said, that's on Instagram solely. And that's where you have multiple slides. So it can be like multiple pictures. It can be like a picture and then you have words afterwards that people can read through and slide through each one. How can I create stories around these questions that people are having? So can I talk one day about weight loss without exercise? Can I talk about what weight loss plan will be best for you? Can I talk about, this is just me specifically, of course. I just want to give you an idea. Weight loss quotes, motivation. I can post those every once in a while because people are searching for that sort of thing. So that means like I can post quotes and it's going to resonate with my audience. Exercise at home. I can do stories about quick exercises people can do at home, or I can do lives about it, or I can do a video about it. That sort of thing. So I always write down what are the different things. So live, reels, a post, carousels, and then stories, and figure out how I can fit everything into all of those so that I am providing value to my audience during the week. And then, so a thing that I hear a lot of people say is like, okay, well, how do I find time to do all this stuff or whatever, right? And it can be overwhelming. You're like, okay, I have to take pictures, I have to do videos, I have to write things out. And I think we assume that we have to do all those things at once when you can batch things out, which is the purpose of this Zoom is for you to get ideas so that you can batch things out. So what you can do is like one day when you're like feeling yourself, girlfriend, change your outfit like 3 or 4 times and just take a bunch of pictures. Don't worry about editing them or anything like that. Just take a bunch of pictures. Maybe record a couple videos. And then one day when you have maybe you have an extra 15 minutes, write out some captions. Write out like your story one day, write out 5 ways to da-da-da-da-da, and then just write everything out and then match the pictures and the videos with the captions that you create. And then you can edit everything together at some point in time. But batch working is like the best thing that you can do for your sanity. So like I usually will take a day like today. I don't have really anything going on. So what I plan on doing is putting my makeup on, doing my hair, taking a bunch of photos, and then maybe recording a couple quick exercise videos. And then I will piece together the content throughout the week. Some of the stuff is spontaneous, like a live. You don't really have to take the time to record a live because it's live. So you would just need to know what kind of topic am I going to talk about and what day would it be best for me to do a live. So looking at your calendar, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, looking at where in my life can I fit in a live that's going to make sense for myself and for my audience. So I've always said this, it might be convenient for me to post at 4 a.m., but is that a time that's going to hit with my audience? Probably not. Most people are not awake at 4 o'clock in the morning. So you got to find the good balance between when is it going to be a good time for you and when is it going to be a good time for your audience. So let's say you have free time on Wednesday evening at 8 p.m. And that looks like, I might be free. Go live Wednesday at 8 p.m. Because if you're trying to go live at 10 o'clock in the morning, chances are you aren't going to have people that are watching because they're at work or they're busy with their kids that are in homeschooling or whatever your thing is. So looking at what are the ways I can introduce these specific things into my week using the different tools that the platforms have to offer. If you're just posting pictures all the time, your stuff isn't going to be populated as much. You got to make sure that you're doing lives so that people can hear your voice. You got to make sure you're showing up in stories so that people can see the behind the scenes. I always say your Stories are like your reality TV show, basically. People are nosy and they want to see like what other people do. Does your stories just look like a commercial, or are you actually letting people in a little bit? Are you showing them, if your niche is like I'll use one of my girls' examples, like helping other autism moms. Are you showing your kids in your stories? I mean, I know some people might be sensitive about that sort of thing, but I don't know. We're in network marketing. You gotta get outside your comfort zone. So like if you are trying to reach other autism moms, are you showing that you're actually a mom in your stories, or is it only Thrive stuff? Are you talking about like how you're overcoming your battles daily with autism? Are you posting quotes that relate to autism in your stories? Like, how are you showing up that makes sense to your audience? Or are you just throwing up Thrive everywhere, all over the place? Because there's a way for you to tactfully introduce Thrive into your niche. But your first focus should be, this is how I'm serving people. And then you're sprinkling in Thrive throughout. Because let's be honest, you are not Thrive. That is something that you do that helps you feel good, that you earn income from, yes. But that's not what your whole life is surrounded around. You don't like, I mean, maybe you do, but you don't like wake up, go through the day and go to bed thinking about Thrive. I mean, maybe you do, but typically you have a job, you have kids, you have things going on. If you're just constantly throwing up Thrive all the time, people aren't getting the opportunity to know you. So how do you tactfully introduce Thrive into your niche? So I'm going to talk about that. So for like me personally, it makes a lot of sense because I talk about nutrition and exercise and working out. I can easily talk about supplementation. So I can show that I'm taking my supplements every morning in my stories. I can go live and talk about like, these are the supplements I use that have helped me with my weight loss. I can, when I post stuff, it kind of makes sense, but you're thinking, I'm a single mom and I'm trying to help other single moms, get a handle of their schedule. Or I'm a crunchy mom that is trying to help other people that are wanting to use cloth diapers and, find more crunchy ways to live, like how to do that. Like, how do I introduce Thrive into that? Well, why are you taking Thrive in the first place? Yeah, it might be because you're getting paid for it, but it's not because you're taking a supplement. Usually you didn't take vitamins before, right? A lot of people didn't take a multivitamin before. Or if you did, you just did because your mom told you that's what you were supposed to do in life. And then that's just what you did. No, you take Thrive because it helps you have energy to keep up with your kids. You take Thrive because it makes you feel good for the first time after overcoming addiction. You take Thrive because it gives you confidence after a breakup, that you feel good on the inside, so then you want to do better on the outside. You aren't Thrive, so why are you every single day just posting about your sticker? No, you take it for a specific reason that has to do with your life. Otherwise, you wouldn't continually take it, right? So like for me, yeah, I take my supplements because they help me with weight loss, but I also take them so I don't strangle my kids every day. I also take them so that I have energy and I'm not downing 8 million energy drinks that are super unhealthy for you. That's how you introduce it. When you're in your stories and maybe you're giving a tip about how to get into cloth diapering, and then later on in the day, you have 4 kids and your day was chaotic and you're like, the only way I would have been able to get through my day is because of this. That is the only way that I can keep up with my 4 children. I used to be super exhausted with them before. Trust me, like this is a life changer. And because you're helping them with other things, it doesn't look like you're just trying to peddle products to people. Yes, we do sell Thrive. Yes, we have a business that we want to grow in, but the way that you do that is through building trust through other people and helping them with a specific area with Thrive. So you can do this in your stories by showing yourself taking your products every day and explaining why you take them. If you're just posting morning capsules, they're like, cool, what are those? If you're like up at 5 before the craziness starts, and this helps make that possible, that's more relatable to people. If you're just showing a picture of your shake, like, however many vitamins and enzymes and digestive probiotics and prebiotics, nobody gives about that. They help that, like, for the first time ever, my digestive system's on point, and I actually can stay full until I have time to eat again because my life is crazy with all my kids. Or it helps me get nutrition in my body right away before I have to head to work. Or this gives my body everything it needs so that I actually feel good while I'm in recovery. That is more relatable. If you're showing your patch, just talking about how, like, this is mom's lifesaver when all your kids are at home. Every time my kids are home, because we're at hybrid right now, I say, guess what I'm wearing today? My mood support patch, because I know my kids are going to drive me crazy with asking about snacks 25 million times. I'm not saying like wearable nutrition sticker. People are like, what does that have to do with anything? Make it relatable to the people that you're trying to reach. And that's how it can be implemented. You can go live and talk about what your life used to look like as a mom before using Thrive. I wasn't organized. Things were crazy. I would snap at my children all the time. And if you're trying to help other moms, it makes sense. If your thing is addiction, going live and talking about how you actually, like, you're constantly searching for that thing to make you feel better. And this is something that actually made me feel better. That hits with people. If you're somebody that you are talking about working out and nutrition and trying to help other people lose weight, talk about how you've tried a billion things before, and this is the first time that you've actually felt good, and so you wanted to do better. Or it helps you overcome that crazy appetite you used to have and would want to snack all day. Like, and it makes sense because you're talking about that stuff on a daily basis. So you can do posts about that. And then you're thinking like, okay, well, how do I introduce the business then? Because like the products make sense because everybody can use these products, but like, how do I talk about the business, right? There's different reasons why you're in this business. If you're a single mom and you're trying to help other single moms become organized, if you're talking about this is a way to bring in another stream of income as a single mom, that makes sense. If you're talking about you genuinely want to help other people lose weight because you know what it's done for your life, this is a way that you can get income for that and help other people in the same process. If your thing is like addiction, talk about like how this business has provided a community that is supportive and that actually makes you feel like you're contributing and that you're bringing in income and all that stuff. There are ways. You just have to look at like, what is the reason why I am doing this? And then how would that make sense for the people that I'm trying to reach? So I hope that was helpful, because I know like when you're getting really niche specific, you want to still incorporate Thrive, but you're wondering like, how can I do it without feeling gross about it? And when you're leading with your niche first, and then you're sprinkling in Thrive, it doesn't feel gross because it's just part of your life. It's part of your service. And you're providing value so much with this other stuff that when you speak about Thrive, people are listening to you. It's not just like, because trust me, I am friends with people in different companies in this industry. And when I go to try to like engage with them, and I go to their stories and all it is about their company, I'm like, I have no door. I have no way to even communicate with this person and build a relationship. People will feel that way. If that's all you're talking about all the time, sure, you might pique interest with people if that's what they're specifically looking for. If maybe they know what the industry is and maybe they're unhappy with their business. Like if you talk about the business all the time, sure, they might transition over. But the majority of people, they're just wanting to have solutions for their problems day to day. And if all you're doing is talking about your CEOs and your company and your products, and you're not even like giving people a way to engage with you, it's like someone trying to get into your house without a doorknob. Like, how are they going to open that door? The doorknob is your niche. So they can turn it and come in, and then you can talk to them about Thrive. But if you don't have a doorknob, they can't open the door. There's no way for them to get in. I remember when I was going through and doing some engagements, I was watching this girl's stories, because I like to reply to stories a lot because it gets you straight into their messenger or their direct message on Instagram. And that is a way for you to, it's prioritized in the algorithm. So like your stuff will populate more into their news feed if you're having a conversation in Messenger. But people also just kind of show a little bit more of their life in Messenger. So in stories. So you're thinking, oh, I'm going to go interact with somebody in their stories. So then I'm going into people's stories, and all I'm seeing is like, they posted about like, oh, I had a private call with my CEO. I'm like, why is someone on your social media that is supposed to be following you, do I give a crap about your CEO? I don't. Yeah, it might be cool for you, but like, why is that going to relate to your audience? Unless they have like a shitty boss or something, then it might make sense. Like, oh, cool, their CEO of this large company actually takes time to care about them. But the average day-to-day person isn't going to give a crap that you hopped on a Zoom with your CEO. What they are going to care about is like, I'm so glad that during this last year, I still had a community of people to connect with on a daily basis. People care about that. And then like, it was like posts about how she was hiring, and then like those graphics about listing literally every single benefit of the product. And I was like, A, I don't have time to read through all this. And B, if I like heart this thing, then she's going to hop in my DM and be like, no, you've got to give people a different way to engage with you. And that's what for you to serve them. And that's why your niche is so, so, so important. It might be an uncomfortable transition to go from like what everyone used to do all the time, and that's just like throw up their products all over the place, to transition into how am I going to serve people. When you start with service, you guys, the sales come, I promise. They do, because they trust you with what you're saying, because you're serving them in a different capacity. So then when you introduce your business or you introduce your products, they're like, she actually cares about me as a human because she's showing me all these other things on the back end. But if all you're doing is talking about product, business opportunity, yes, those are ways to help people. But then it looks like, am I just trying to do this for my personal gain, or am I really trying to build a community and help other people in this world? It starts with service. So that is what I have for today. I say what you write in a notepad. That's such a good idea. And edit it later and reuse later. Yes. And sometimes I'm super scatterbrained because I firmly believe I have undiagnosed ADHD. When I get ideas, I have to write them down in the moment. Otherwise I forget them. So like, I have notes in my phone and I will just like type it in there. So smart. That makes me so happy. Yay. Now implement them. Because you can hop on all the Zooms, but if you don't actually implement the things that you're learning, you just wasted an hour of your time. You know what I mean? And I think that's the biggest thing for me, is that for so long I'd like hop on Zooms and you're like, oh, that's a good idea. And then you'd be afraid to start implementing it because you're like, what are people going to think? What if it doesn't work? Like all those questions come into your head. I promise you, just start implementing the things that you learn and trust in the process, because my engagement has gone up on my Instagram. I've reached more people. And even in a slow season, I've still, like the last 2 months, I brought on like 7 new customers. And it's been slow in May. Right, facts. My ADHD brain forgets stuff all the time. That's cool, Jenna. Ooh, sweet. vendor events. I mean, like now that like everything's opening back up, like utilize that. If you're comfortable with belly to belly, like do that. Go outside your comfort zone a little bit. That's so exciting that everything's opening back up. I'm so happy. Like I drove into my town, the another town that's close by, and they had like all these booths up, and there was like art fairs and stuff like that. And I'm like, that's so exciting that we get to do that stuff again. Well, I'm glad this was helpful. Yes. I'm so glad you made it on. Yay. So I will have this recording so that you can listen up. I am going to get it up. I'm going to bring my laptop downstairs. Again, ADHD. I'm going to bring my laptop downstairs and I'll get the recording up probably within the next 15, 20 minutes. And then I will post that recording in the thread of the announcement of the Zoom. But Megan Holcomb on YouTube is where all my stuff is at. Oh yeah, picture of the Zoom. Because community is important, especially nowadays. Oh, I think my daughter's awake. And it's like a sauna in my office. It's so freaking hot in here. Take a couple pictures. Chantel, is it hot in your house with no AC? Like, how do you live on a daily basis? I have no idea. Oh, that's your puppy. So cute. I think last week I just took like a picture like this. All right. I'm going to stop recording.